Recording in progress.
Hey guys, so let's talk about best bookkeeper marketing. Give me 1 second. Best bookkeeper marketing. Boom, 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 boom. We'll paste it. So today we're gonna be talking about is like really how to start your business from scratch and make sure that you can grow using like the least amount of force as possible. One thing that a lot of people struggle with is that they think that building a business is all about like doing these like really short sprints of intense energy, and it leads them to like giving like 1 to 2 weeks worth of energy and then like feeling really burned out and not being able to like do it consistently. So my objective is to give you a better lens to view the world so that when you are trying to build your business, you're able to go and do it with the accurate understanding of what it actually takes to go and find success. So I'm gonna be just really raw and really honest with you inside this video. So the first things first is the minimum viable skill set. Okay, and this is something I had to learn too, because I used to think that like you had to be an expert with like a million years of experience, and if you didn't have that, then people wouldn't respect your skill set. Now, I also nowadays see that there's a lot of people that, you know, they're entering the market where they're trying to learn accounting and trying to learn bookkeeping, or maybe you've been doing accounting but you haven't done, like maybe doing accounting in corporate America but you haven't done bookkeeping, especially for like small businesses. I always like to focus on the job learning versus like just in case learning. So just in time learning is better than just in case learning. The reason why is because a lot of the scenarios and situations that most people research are never going to happen to them. And then the argument could be made that, Bryce, well, even though I may never really have to do it, like what if there's one time, like the one time I need it, if I know that, then it'll be awesome. It's like, okay, cool, but let's not play like, you know, that. Let's play for the averages. Let's play for the stuff that's going to happen the most times. Because in that case where there's one thing you don't know, you can always buy yourself time and say, hey, let me get back to you on this. I don't want to give you a short answer. Let me get back to you on this, right? So on the one case where you don't know something, just take the pause, buy yourself some time, and come back to them with the answer. Now, I'm always focused on just what are the most essential bookkeeping skills, and then like there's a lot of different like training courses and like different things. Like we have inside of one of our courses, we teach you how to do accounting, bookkeeping, and QuickBooks from scratch, right? So it's like, but the reason why we do that inside of our program is not to just become like a school, right, where we're like basically trying to teach you all like the theoretical knowledge. We're only focused on the stuff that clients actually care about so that you can go and get to market as quickly as possible. Next thing is going to be like collaboration and partnering, right? So I am always focused on how can I get a partner to send leads to me. Now, in my case, my partners are platforms like Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. I also have partners that are people, right? So that's gonna be other different businesses, different entities, different professional services. Now, for me, since I have money, I can spend money on advertising. If you are just getting started and you don't have, you know, at least $4,000 that you can spend in a month and not care about whether it like goes up in flames or not, I would recommend partnering with people. Okay. Now again, like that might sound like, well, Bryce, I have money. I'm not saying you don't have money. I'm just saying like when it comes to ads, when you're first learning your ads, like you have to be prepared to let $4,000 just go up in flames, like minimum, right? If you're not and you don't understand how to like really handle that, then like don't do advertising. Just either learn how to use the platforms organically. That means like free or low cost methods, or learn how to get partnerships. I encourage you to do both. Now, boom, 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 boom. Let's say that you are learning how to do the bookkeeping and you get a client. You don't really understand how to handle the client. What I would recommend is subcontracting out to someone who's a slightly more established or more skillful professional. So oftentimes in our program, like I know we just talked about, like we teach you accounting and bookkeeping, but one thing we can do to help you speed the time frame from when you can get a client to when you can actually fulfill the client is by helping you partner with another student that is more successful and can do the work from day number one, that we can actually have on the job training because they're doing the work and you can actually watch what they're doing and follow their keystrokes. A good example is actually one of our students named Rebecca. So when she first got started, like she was a stay-at-home mom and she was trying to figure out this game, right? And for her, people really liked her and she was really good at sales, so she got to like $4,000 a month like in 30 days, like very, very quickly. But it kind of led to her feeling a little bit overwhelmed. So the first thing we did was, hey, this progress is going really, really fast. Let's have you partner with another student, right? And then they'll do all the work for you. You can just continue to go and get good at sales and do that. So it worked very, very well. She was able to manage the $5,000 a month for a pretty good amount of time. Now, why'd she not go to $10,000 a month? A couple different reasons. Number one, she didn't really need to. It was $5,000 a month. I think she was paying her contractor about $1,000 a month. So she's making $4,000 a month pure profit doing no work. right? So it was just passive income for her. So it was really, really kind of cool to be able to see that, and really great because I know when she first got started, she was feeling very, very nervous about like whether or not it would actually work for her because she was so new to the industry. But it's one of those things. If there's a will, there's a way. You can do it. You can do whatever you set your mind to if you go about it like as smartly as possible, right? So there's always a way you can do stuff. Next thing, talking about money. So one challenge people have is talking about money, and like unfortunately for me, I never really had this fear because when I was coming up, we always talked about money. I was in a lot of like business classes in school. I went to a business college. I was in like entrepreneurship kind of things. I did a lot of entrepreneurship classes, networking events. So we've always talked about revenue and we talked about money. We didn't necessarily talk about like personal finances, but we always talked about money. Now, why is that important? Because when you're trying to do your consultation calls, a lot of the stuff in this business of accounting and bookkeeping is going to be based on like what prices can you charge, or what prices will you be able to actually like negotiate and talk to. So if you're nervous about negotiating and talking about pricing, it's going to make it very hard for you to stand up for your price and be able to kind of like say your price with confidence. If you don't have confidence when you're talking about your pricing, a lot of the business owners will try and like talk down the pricing in a lot of different ways. So it just really depends on kind of you, right? So whenever I talk about pricing, I'm always trying to get an understanding of if someone says that my price is too high, I'm trying to get an understanding of, does that mean that they cannot afford it? Meaning like maybe cash flow wise, they just don't have the cash flow to support it? Or are they saying more that they just don't value the service enough to pay me, the amount of money I'm asking for, right? But you have to get really comfortable when it talks about money in order to even have that conversation. Because if you're nervous and you don't really believe that your price is worth it, and you money is really hard to get, as soon as they say that your price is too high, you will back down your pricing, and it makes us really hard, right? I was like that in the beginning, actually. So I didn't have a problem talking about money, but I had a negative belief that no one had money, right? Because when I first got started with my business, I didn't have much money, right? I had about an extra $7,000, just kind of like an emergency kind of fund. But yeah, man, I was like, money is really hard to come by right now because no one's saying yes to me. So as soon as I would talk to them, they're like, yeah, times are kind of tough. We're just not really, at the same size. This was like 3 years ago when we were doing $1 million a year. We would have been able to afford your services. Like, oh, yeah, that makes sense, man. I understand. I didn't really stand up for our pricing or anything because I just thought that everyone didn't have money. It wasn't until I underquoted this one person and I looked at their books, they had $1 million in cash, and I was like, you just told me you didn't have any money. He's like, well, no. Until we didn't have any money, I didn't want to pay, $600 a month for your service. I thought your service was more worth $250 a month. And that's when I had the, and the moves where it goes zzz, where the screen kind of comes into one. It's like zzz. I was like, no. And then from there on, I was like, I don't care what they tell me, man. This is the price. And then I just had to learn how to price even better. A good example of this is one of our students in Joanne. So she struggled because she was saying growing up they always had money was always tight, right? And she just saw her family have a lot of stress when it came to money. So she has associated that with the rest of the world, right? It's just kind of she's like, yeah, this is how life is. People maybe don't have a lot of money. I'm like, well, that's maybe how some people live, right? And it's certain frequencies and certain vibration, people kind of live in there, and sometimes life happens to people and it causes you to go from maybe you're doing well to now you're not doing well, right? But that's not every single person, right? It's just you have to start talking to and understanding what is the frequency of the people that are at that higher income level. Once you have that frequency, you understand that, then you're able to go and grow it a lot faster. So for her, for example, the first thing we did was we cut out all of her small clients. Any client that was under $300 a month, bye-bye, right? And then basically what we had to do is we had to rebuild. So she went from, I think she was at I don't know exactly where she was at before we cut, but she cut down to about $830 a month worth of clients, and then from there we got her $5,200 a month worth of clients. She just signed on a client actually a couple days ago that's worth $650 a month. Then she has another one which is a big cleanup. It's going to be a $23,000 cleanup. We still have our fingers crossed to see if we can close that deal. They're kind of going back in in terms of due diligence and negotiation. So let's kind of see how that goes. I'm really, really excited for that. $23,000 extra. Like that's been the cool thing this year. Is like we've had a lot of students get like really, really big cleanups, like a $40,000, $25,000, $28,000, $23,000, $31,000 cleanup. So it's been really, really cool. I'm like, if everyone who just like, you know, works with me can get like a $30,000 cleanup at least once within the program, that's like life changing for you, because it's not that it's like life changing money, although like for some people, if you just got $30,000 at one time, yeah, it could like change your life. But it's more the belief that people have money. When you start understanding that people are willing to give you $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, it's like, whoa, it's amazing. I can charge that. And if you get $30,000 in one shot, you can charge $1,000 a month. You can charge $2,000 a month, and your belief just changes, right? Actually, we even have a video with Joanne on our YouTube channel too. If you type in about Joanne, then yeah, go watch that. Go watch her transformation. Next thing, expanding your sphere of influence. So I'm always thinking about building relationships with business owners. Okay, so a reason why it's important is because most people that end up signing up with you are going to tell you no. You're going to send them friend requests, they're not going to accept the friend request. You'll send some people a friend request, they'll accept it, but they won't respond to you. Some people will respond to you, they say they're interested, and they ghost you. Some people will respond to they're interested, get on a consultation call, and ghost you. So we'll say they respond, they say they're interested, they get on a consultation call, they want to do the price, they say yes, and then they ghost you, right? So there's a million different things. So you have to expand that sphere of influence of people who know you and create that critical mass of people, because all the people that say, like, you know, that tell you no, they're going to come back. It's just going to be a certain time in the future. So you're building a future income stream for yourself by learning how to build a network and keep in contact with people. Learning how to follow up is a massive skill. In this business, if you just learn how to follow up with someone over the course of a year, like, you would not have to worry about money again. If I'm really being honest with you, if you understand like just how to keep someone engaged for about a year, right? Because what does that even mean if you keep them engaged for a year? If they're interested in accounting services and they say your price is too high, they're probably gonna go with someone else who's cheaper. Now most people are cheaper are either beginners, they are maybe what's called fly by night, so like maybe they just get in to get their first client, they disappear on them. Maybe they just aren't very skilled, maybe they don't have confidence, maybe they just don't really place that much time value on it, etc., etc. A million different reasons when someone goes cheap. So if you can just stay with them for a year, then they're generally going to come back to you. So if you just get 100 business owners that are interested in your services, you should end up closing about 30 to about 50 of those 100 people. It's just a matter of, can you actually get that many interested business owners to reveal they have a problem and get on a consultation call with you, right? And that's what keeping them engaged is, because if you keep them engaged long enough, think about it, most businesses like that are over, like almost every business over about $300,000 per year is going to need accounting and bookkeeping services, all of them. So your job is, can you get a certain percentage of people who maybe don't have one or who have one but are unhappy with their current provider to move forward with you? And then just by becoming their friend over the course of 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, you're going to have this massive just like wave of clients that come back to you. Like business is not hard. It's because of the kind of the long-term benefits. Business is not hard. It's just, it's different than what most people think it is, right? It's not that it's risky. It's just, okay, let me take a step back. Business is not risky. The person running the business is risky. What do you mean? Okay, so I was making this new YouTube channel, right? And like basically in this YouTube channel, I'm like doing tutorial videos. And like for the first like 2 weeks, I was going ham. I put out like 50 videos in about like 3 weeks or so. And then on the third week, I'm like, oh, this is not going anywhere. I hate this. This is stupid. Why am I doing all this work? And I almost quit on the channel. And this is from someone who already has a successful YouTube channel. They get hundreds of thousands of views per year. Actually, no, I get 69,000 impressions per month, and I get about 100,000 video views per year, right? So this is not like, I know what to expect on YouTube, but I still almost quit. I know that YouTube works. It's just, I was about to stop working it. I was the one who was going to stop the ability to actually go and make it work. You see what I'm saying? So YouTube, business, this stuff is not risky. It's just we're risky. And as much as you can like de-risk yourself and balance your life and add in consistency, you're going to be able to grow your business. it's a very, very simple thing, right? Because like remember we talked about learning how to talk about money. That's a mental thing. That's not that talking about money is hard. It's not, you see what I'm saying? The other people might not think that talking about money is hard. It's just if I think that it's hard and I don't say what I need to say, I'm not going to get the outcomes that I need to get in order to be successful in business. So is that the business's fault or is that my fault? It's my fault. Or maybe it's not your fault. Maybe you went bankrupt at one point, right? Or maybe you lost a bunch of money, right? I had to where when I was younger, I saw my parents basically like get down to like maybe like $5,000 in the bank. They had like over $100,000. Parent lost their jobs, and then pretty soon they were down to like $5,000 in the bank before they could get another job. That's very scary, right? But I mean, I had to overcome that. And like I still deal with that to a certain degree, right? Which is why I have 2 6-figure businesses. But it's just one of those things. You overcome it and you kind of do some stuff. Like maybe you go do some therapy or like some life coaching. I don't know you. I'm not a therapist. I don't know. But a lot of different ways you can kind of overcome that. Because it's like just because we have these things, it's tough. But we have to learn. You don't really have to. I mean, you could just stay exactly where you are. For me, I wanted to be able to kind of move, and I wanted to be able to have success in life, even if like there's a lot of shortcomings that I have, different insecurities that I have, etc., right? So I do what it takes, right? Even if it's hard, and that's all it takes. So next thing, so a good example is like Lori. So she was really struggling with like client conversations because she could come in contact with business owners, but she just wouldn't know how to get them interested in like working with her. So I basically gave her like some different scripts and some different techniques in order to get the business owners to start asking her to pitch her services. Once she's able to do that, like she got really, really good. She got to about $8,600 per month in about 60 days of being inside of our program. Okay, so it's like it doesn't take that much time if you do this stuff right. It's just you need to have a system, right? Developing a consistent system, okay? It's all about having processes. Processes will beat tactics. Whenever you hear someone say, like, what's the best marketing platform? It's like, it doesn't matter what the best marketing platform is. Do you have a process to use a marketing platform? If you don't, it doesn't matter if you have, like, let's say there's a platform where there's 100 business owners that come to you per week, and they all say they're interested. If you don't have a process to, number one, reach out to those leads, know what to say, how to follow up with them, how to keep track of them, like inside of a CRM or whatever, you're just not going to make it. It's going to be tough. Next is going to be like really creating a sustainable client acquisition system on the consultation call. Okay? You need to know what are you going to say in your consultation call. Next thing is like, just really like taking action, taking support. Like we have a mentorship program where we basically walk you through what to do step by step and all these different things we talked about. So how to follow up with leads, what to say, where to go, how to do the consultation call, how to overcome some of your like mindset beliefs when it comes to growing your business, how to ask for more money, how to increase your price. Maybe you're trapped at $450 a month as your average price, right? Maybe you're at $200 a month for your average price per client. How do you get that price up without necessarily doing drastically more work for people? It's all about the mindset, just really fixing that. So if I show you how to fix that, then everything else works very, very quickly, okay? So if you want to learn a bit more about this, you want to see if we can help you out, go ahead and click the link inside the description, either above or below the video, to book a call with myself to see if I can help you inside of our mentorship program, okay? I will talk to you soon. Hopefully have a good rest of your day. Take it easy.